So this is a super cool experience for me because I get to travel with my girlfriend, Kristi. We're here in Mexico City. We've just arrived. There's a lot happening behind me. It's about to be the Festival of the Spring. There's just a ton of energy. Together, we're heading off on a road trip starting tomorrow. But tonight, it's all about getting to explore the city, seeing what Mexico City has to offer. Ready, babe?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right off the bat, what was instantly obvious was how much vibrant life is happening in the city. Obviously, Mexico City is massive. It's one of the biggest cities in the whole world, and it truly feels like the heartbeat of Mexico here. There's just so much music and people out in the streets socializing.
There were just people everywhere, the concerts going, vendors everywhere. There were big dance parties. It was incredible to witness.
But, oh my goodness.
Like trying to catch all the little bits so we don't lose it.
Get all the pictures.
I am not a big city person in any way, shape, or form, but I actually was surprised by the charm and the beauty and just the inclusivity that you feel.
It has been nothing but the most inviting, beautiful place full of lovely people that you can imagine.
3, 2, 1. Yes! Nailed it. We can now have a good adventure in Mexico. So Kristi and I are leaving behind the hustle and bustle of the big city, and we're heading off on a road trip. We've just met up with our good friend Rob, who lives here in Mexico City, and he is taking us into some of the more remote, rural, and truly spectacular natural areas that Mexico has.
So I met Rob about, I'm thinking like 6 years ago. It was back when I was living in Michigan.
We were living in the same area. We were both artists, so we sort of found each other online.
When we decided to come to Mexico City, I was like, oh, my friend Rob.
Kristi texted me and was like, hey, do you think you know anyone who could show us around? And I was like, well, I could. So first view.
This is incredible. Can't believe this is so close to Mexico City. We've only left a couple hours ago.
Well, you are in the land of transitions. This trip alone, it's like city, desert, rainforest, mountain, more desert. It's crazy. You would never have expected this in such a small area.
Lured by dreams of soaking in hot springs, the three of us head to the state of Hidalgo, where a magical oasis awaits. But before the relaxing natural spa, we've got some roadside cuisine to enjoy.
So one of the things that definitely made me fall in love with Mexico originally was the food. As we sort of enter the Hidalgo, Huasteca Potosina regions, it's a whole nother realm. There's so much good food here.
We noticed this cute little place that had a little decoration, and there was just this beautiful mountain backdrop. And this lady and her family was just running a lunch spot for quesadillas and pulque.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the really delicious things that we got to try was pulque. And pulque is from the maguey plant. They basically use the sap from the inside of the plant and ferment it. Sometimes the flavor can be a bit strong and overwhelming.
I've heard about pulque, and everybody says oh, I want to see your reaction. So I'm a little nervous about what this is.
And salud.
Salud. Salud. All right.
Oh, bottoms up.
Oh, not bad at all.
Oh, that's really good, actually.
Sonrisas. This means giving out smiles.
There's just such a fun atmosphere in these roadside spots. There's so many little moments to just enjoy when you're traveling in a place like this.
So I've just arrived at our first stop on our road trip, Grutas Tolantongo. It's this amazing thermal area. There's rich green-blue water all coursing through this valley. It's just pouring out of caves and out of the hillsides. So I'm super excited to spend the next 24 hours here. Gonna be a good place to soak. Rob knows where to go. He's hooking us up here.
We did not realize we were arriving on a holiday. So at first we were like, oh no, there's so many people here. But the nice thing about this place is it's massive and there's so much to explore.
So there's one place here that's unlike anything I've ever seen before. There's a tunnel into the backside of a waterfall. And normally this would be a pretty quiet experience, but because of the holiday, there was a huge lineup of people that wanted to see this. Kristi, Rob, and I go into the tunnel, and it blew my mind. It was so wild.
As we entered, there's just literally, you're like so close to the person in front of you.
Everywhere you could possibly be, there was water shooting out of these little holes all through the tunnel, just constantly dousing you. We go back probably a good 100 meters or so, and you're kind of climbing around all the waterfalls and diving into the pools. Kristi, Rob, and I were just having the best time. Just couldn't stop laughing and hooting and hollering, and it was a wild time in there.
We just went through that amazing tunnel, and there's like a train of people going in and out, so it's a little busy. However, that being said, it is mind-blowingly cool in there.
Even with all of the crowds, we kept finding our ways, weaving back further into the canyon complex, and every step we'd go or every stair set we'd climb, we'd leave behind a few more people, and it just got quieter and quieter and quieter.
It felt like we had just stumbled into this like secluded oasis.
The other side, oh my God, this place is insanely gorgeous. There's just so many nooks and crannies to explore here. I can't believe how interesting this place is. Mexico, doing it again.
We were actually able to find some secret trails that nobody really seemed to notice.
We found ourselves in truly one of the most magical places I've ever seen. There's this slot canyon, it's this small notch, and there's just waterfalls pouring from everywhere, and then deep blue pools.
So we found ourselves a private grotto over here. It's more wild, it is further away. We've had to hike a bit back for it. And this one's actually cold, so I think that's why the crowds are not here. But look at this place, it is truly magical.
I'm like blown away by being in these like crevices of just streams of water coming down mossy walls, and I'm just like so beside myself because this is a place like of my dreams. So beautiful.
Feeling rejuvenated after our time at Grutas Tolantongo, we pile into our car for what will prove to be more of a journey than we bargained for. We're heading to San Luis Potosí, one of Mexico's largest states, to see the famed waters of Tamul.
Going from our first adventure, we ended up spending about 12 hours on the road, and that was taxing.
So I like to be an adventurous eater, so I've just been eating as much spicy food that people can throw at me. But that has meant that my stomach has been going through some adaptive processes, so to speak. Not feeling so hot. I've eaten a lot. Chilaquiles and spicy guacamole. Might be catching up with me. It is now after 10 p.m. We've been driving all day, but we have made it. It has been problem after problem after problem to overcome. We finally arrived, and I am so ready to crash because tomorrow we have a big day.